All right, so for our next project, we are going into a unit on conceptual character design. So you guys are going to be able to live to your fullest designer potential, whether it's making something for a video game or a movie or a fake world that you feel like you would like a character to exist in, you are going to create a character. So if we think about what conceptual design is, nothing's really set in stone. You have different emotions that you're trying to explore. You're trying to figure out what style that character is, what sort of look they have in terms of designing their specific clothing style, or are they textured, or what's going on. All right, so this is an example of Simba from The Lion King, where you're just kind of seeing what he looks like in various stages when he's a baby versus a cub, and how he can show different emotions, all of these different features kind of being enveloped in one complete picture. So here are some examples of people who have completed this project already. So here's a wizard, a kind of deer-like whimsical character, and a dog angel. What you are going to do for your project is you are going to create a in-depth conceptual design for a fantasy character of your own creation. This means you cannot give me Monsters, Inc. characters. You cannot come up with a drawing of someone that already exists in the Harry Potter world. If you want to add characters to those fantasy lands, you can, but you are coming up with the character entirely on your own. You are going to use an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, which you will get from me when I am back in school, and you can use whatever materials you want to complete this project, but most of you will probably stick with colored pencil. We are doing this project to apply to the following standards in art. We are generating and conceptualizing our artistic ideas and work. You are going to come up with your entirely own idea. You're going to organize and create a plan for this. We will do that through thumbnails and draft stages of projects. You are going to complete the work on your own, using some techniques that we have learned previously, and you are going to analyze yours and your classmates' artworks at the end of the assignment. So how do you do this? First, you are going to brainstorm. So we're going to have a Google Doc with some mind map questions on it, where you are working on trying to figure out exactly what you want this character to do. Where is it going to be from? Is it actually fantastical? Is it human? Is it an animal? What's going on? Does it have a purpose? All of these things to really give your character some meat, so you can figure out what needs to happen in making the character come to reality in your design. Then we're going to work on thumbnail designs. So you will develop a design for your character, figure out what you want it to look like, draw different clothing features that are important to it. Think about Thor, right? Someone had to come up with the idea that Thor always carried a hammer. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that you're drawing a person 12 times to come up with conceptual ideas, but knowing that someone might have a special necklace and coming up with a design for that necklace because there's superpowers in that necklace or something like that is really important. So in your thumbnail stage, kind of figuring out, going and branching off in all these different directions, you're going to come up with 2 thumbnails, which we'll talk a little about in depth when this becomes an assignment. Then we will take one of our 2 thumbnails and you're going to draft your character design. So whatever thumbnail design you think is the most successful, you are going to create a character design for that. You will make sure that your final draft includes one full figure drawing of your character. You will include at least 2 sketches of your character. They don't have to be developed to the point of full color or anything like that, full shading, but just general sketches of maybe them doing a different action, showing different expressions, using some sort of object or something that's important to them. And you will come up with your name for your character and create a font and design that name in a way that kind of fits the characters instead of just your basic chicken scratch handwriting. Once we finish the pencil planning stage in our final draft paper, you're going to continue to develop your drawing. So that means you're either taking colored pencil or your regular pencil and shading to fill in your full figure, or you are experimenting with other materials using pen and ink, whatever style is really works for you. If you like to work on an iPad or something like that, you can use digital as well. Making sure that your other two sketches are clearly defined, that we can figure out what's going on. And then for making sure that the character name is really highlighted and that we can see it. It's not just like in the bottom left-hand corner of your paper. All right. So when you finish the project, you're going to submit the work on Google Classroom. You'll make sure to take a photo on a plain background, crop out the majority of your background if you end up with too much. Make sure it's a well-lit photo where you can see everything that's going on to the Google Classroom assignment. And we will have these projects completed by March 10th. So that gives us about 2 weeks to work on these. And that means that you will be able to ask me questions when I come back into school during the final stages of the project.